Hello everyone. I guess I should start a little bit. If you watched my last video, I explained that I actually had my workplace had closed down. A whole bunch of us were out of work. I pretty much have my foot in the door for a competitor that is scooping us all up and scooping up all our customers, but the turnover that they're having is a little hectic, so they haven't brought us all in yet. So I'm enjoying a little extra time off. I usually don't do a video in the middle of the week, but I finished a book that I liked and we're going to talk about that. But before that, so this is Web of Angels by John Ford, and this is a billed as a cyberpunk book. It has a foreword by Cory Doctorow, who wrote a book that I love called The Rapture of the Nerds. And in the foreword, he discusses that, well, the book's a bit hard to read, but he really loves it. So I start reading this book. Oh, boy. So yeah, this is hard to read. Just doesn't move along at all. I don't know how you explain it in this way, but the prose themselves and the structure of paragraphs and just what's going on and who says what and why are you saying that? What is that supposed to mean? It just doesn't all come together very well. And I didn't even make my usual 100 pages. I just almost felt like I wasn't even in the mood for it. And big old did not finish from that one. That's a heartbreaker. I really like cyberpunk stuff, and this was not for me. Voila! So, but. The Seasons of Albadone. I happened across this watching a Tori Tekken video where she reviewed this and praised this, and for good reason. This is one of the best books I have ever read, ever. There are 4 short stories in here, and on the back, an aspiring enchantress searches for a way to lift a terrible curse, a drunken father makes a dangerous wish, a foreman tilts the balance between nature and progress, a mother travels with her dying child in search of a healer. 4 short stories, each one essentially a sequel to the other. I think overlaps with the characters from one turning up into another or being mentioned and so forth. So this scene actually takes place in the book if you look there. So here we have Adriel, who is apprenticed to Mother Allah, as they call them enchantresses. You could call them witches if you wanted, because they're out in the woods doing all kind of magical stuff. Right here we have what turns out to be a mining tower. Over here we have the womb of the world, big mountain. And off over here we have the city back here. It's like the capital. And the scene actually happens in the book. She has this view here. And so Adriel's story is that she's out there with her mentor, who's a bit abrasive. And this fellow comes in and he has this rune, and they don't know what it is, and he pays them enough to take a look at it, and oops, a curse is unleashed, and Adriel's got to go find the cure. The way this first story ends is a shocker. I like to think I don't have a necessarily preference either way. Every so often I can figure something out, and every so often I'm just surprised. So for example, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. When I was originally watching that movie with a friend on TV, I kind of thought about it halfway through, and I like, damn, I know how this is going to end, and sure enough, that's how it ended. Time passes. Here comes The Sixth Sense. Everybody saw it coming but me. I was shocked by the ending of that movie. I suppose in hindsight, there's a few clues here and there as to what's going to happen at the end of that first story, but I didn't see it coming. Wham! And then that sets up this awesome suspense throughout the other stories as to what that character is up to throughout this environment. It's great, it's wonderful. And so the authors, there's 2 of them, Alon Marsh and Christopher Warman, they do a real good job in a short period of time of establishing the characters well. And so the drunken man and his dangerous wish, yeah, this is an alcoholic. He's got a problem. He's a jerk. You don't like him. His wife's kind of fed up with him, but she hasn't done away with him yet. And he has a daughter that just loves her papa, and she's sick. And so he works here at this mining facility. And he wants to heal his daughter, and he gets sent out on a mission to find it, thanks to, and his solution, I mean, he messes up. He messes up, does what he shouldn't have done, but still he goes on with his mission because there may be a way. The third act in this is the foreman of this place. The reason he's doing this mining is because he had a twin brother, and the twin brother died in this mine when he actually lit a fire in it, and kaboom, it just incinerated him. Well, they don't necessarily call it oil here, and as a matter of fact, it's referred to as the lifeblood of this land because it's very magical. But they want to mine it out for energy. And a bit too late, he discovers that he should not have been doing that, which leads us to the fourth story about the woman who, she has a daughter who needs healing. A huge fire ruins this forest, and she has to go find healing to her daughter, who is slowly dying. And she does get really good help along the way, but society is collapsing here. If you give me just a second here, I'm gonna mute this. And who does she eventually have to go deal with? And like I said, where that first story ends, you're like, oh no, through this entire thing, and it is gripping. This is one of the best things I've ever read. So this is why there are a number of reasons booktubers watch booktubers and non-booktubers watch booktubers. Maybe you like the way the person themselves presents. Maybe you like them as a person for what you can see of them in their videos and whatnot. But the other one, of course, is to get book recommendations, and I'm so glad I got this. I love this book, and happily I'm gonna. I don't know Tori Tekken well. She's aware of me, and I mentioned to her on a Discord that I had gotten the book, and I'm gonna go type out my thoughts on it to her and see what she thinks about that. So if you want to read a good book, read that book right there. Outstanding. So that's just about it, but this is a third book in a series, The Bound World. I've done a video on each of its two prequels, and we're going to find out if the galaxy is going to get eaten up, and if the lovers can find peace, and what everybody's up to, and if the villains are true villains or gray, or what their comeuppance are going to be. Can't wait for this. I'm going to get this one started pretty soon. I don't know how long, because I'm starting it. I usually start at the beginning of a week and get a book done by the end of the week. Well, here I am in the middle of the week, so I have no idea when the next video I'm going to do is, so we shall see what happens. But there you go, The Unbound World, that's one is next. Don't forget to, you want to get this book. You want to read that book right there. Go, go, go. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, have a nice week, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you.